explains that he's actually been alive since the days of the Clone Wars, and that he left the Jedi Order, returned to his home planet of Tatooine. He was actually a Tusken Raider or a half-breed Tusken Raider, and at one point he goes off and decides he's going to attack Luke Skywalker's uncle and aunt, and Obi-Wan Kenobi actually stops him, defeats him en masse, which goes off and actually gets him kicked out of his own tribe, and so that could be an interesting story that they could go off and they could use for with Obi-Wan Kenobi, where him going off in secretly going off and protecting the Lars family, as well as maybe some other interesting stuff. I know there's been stories floating around of a fight between him and Darth Maul, or just Maul, which might actually become canon in the Rebel series as well. So, I mean, I would love to go up and see it, a number of these ideas.
Absolutely. I think at this point what we'll do is we'll go for a quick music break, and when we get back, we'll be talking about so much more.
Yeah, I will, I'll review them, Fantastic Beasts, after the break. So, listen to more of our music, and we'll be right back.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Captain Fizz and Mask Guys show. We spent the first little bit talking about Star Wars, and Star Wars universe, so to speak.
And now it's time to speak of another universe.
Yes, time to speak of another universe.
Harry Potter universe. So last Friday, I went up and I attended Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them in one of our local theaters. This is a movie that I guess is sort of becoming is a prequel to Harry Potter.
$75 million on opening weekend.
It actually beat out Doctor Strange, which is already, I believe, the ninth best Marvel movie, although it may already be up towards the fifth. It's apparently one of the most successful Marvel movies to date. So the movie takes place in 1926. The main character, I try to keep this as spoiler-free as I possibly can. The main character, Newt, played by Oscar winner Eddie Redmayne, has come to New York to go off into, having to do something with magical creatures. During this period of time, owning magical creatures in the United States is illegal. And there is some sort of what is believed to be a magical creature going off and not harassing, but just absolutely attacking muggles in New York City, and of course in the United States. They're called no-mages. That's short for no magics. He goes off and...
That's a weird term.
I know. It just seems really stupid to me. He goes off and on his first day there, he goes off and runs into... Oh my goodness, why can't I even find this dude? Credence, no. Kowalski, no. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. I can't even find this.
So he runs into an old guy.
He runs into this bumbling no-mage who pissing me off, guys. Here, I'm looking at I should have really done a little bit more research before we came on the air. Kowalski. Kowalski, played by Dan Folger. And during the meeting, their briefcases get switched, and long story short, Kowalski goes off and inadvertently releases several of Newt's magical creatures into New York. Uh, there's a lot of interesting twists and turns in there. There is Tina, who is a disgraced orator who's actually lost her job and now works in the section, of the magical government, going off and doing magic wand permits, and she's trying to get back into the good graces of the government. So she tries to kind of bring Newt and Kowalski in. There is Colin Farrell, who plays Graves, who's kind of like the head orator in the United States, who seems to be trying to figure out, capture this magical beast that's going after the nomads, but his motives don't seem to be as clear as you would think they are. And I won't give too much away. Honestly, I mean, I didn't enjoy the movie as much as the people around me. It's not that it was a bad movie. It's just for whatever reason, a lot of the stuff that were getting people to hoot and holler just weren't connecting with me. And sometimes that has more to do with my mood than the movie absolutely sucking. I did enjoy the movie. It had some very interesting aspects to it. Johnny Depp does show up in this movie, albeit very briefly at the very tail end of the movie. I won't give away too much for that. And there's a lot of interesting stuff that's come out of this movie as to suggesting what happened to, as linked in with Dumbledore's sister, as it was revealed in the last Harry Potter book. His sister, was attacked by Muggles when she was young, and kind of suppressed the use of her magic. And during an attack, she goes off and inadvertently attacks and kills her mother. And it's kind of linked that maybe there's something that has to do with Fantastic Beasts, may explain what had happened with her. I don't want to give away too much on there, but if this is true, it's an interesting connection to it. It might explain this. Now we know that they're planning to do Fantastic Beasts, turn it into a 5-movie set. Rawlings has already said that by the time we get to movie 5, they're going to be in the middle of the first Wizard War, and we're going to see the big clash with Dumbledore in that one. And of course, Dumbledore is supposed to be in the second movie. He was already his presence was already hinted in the first movie, where his name was mentioned in regards to Newt. So I'll be very interested to see where they go from here. Again, just because I didn't really feel emotionally invested in the movie doesn't mean it wasn't a good movie. I think part of the problem that I had with it is that, as opposed to the Harry Potter books, where we kind of got to grow up, into this world with Harry and his friends, this movie was strictly about adult characters. The supporting cast in the movie was really good. If you blink, or if you're not paying attention, you're gonna miss a great cameo by Ron Perlman in there. You may not realize it at the time, but Ron Perlman is in there and pretty good.
Nice.
I'm gonna go off. I'm gonna give this movie 3.5 masks out of 5. And that, again, I'm probably at some point will go back and watch it a second time. Probably think, oh my god, why did I review it that poorly? Because it probably is a lot better than I thought at the time.
And some movies, like, if you're not emotionally connected to a movie, you're not going to actually enjoy it. I've been that way to different movies, Twilight being one of them. Even The Hobbit. Like, I love Lord of the Rings, but The Hobbit just didn't do it for me. And part of it could be the fact it was in a 3-part series.
I kind of think along the same lines. I really feel that movie they probably could have just made it 2 movies, and it probably would have been a much better movie. I do feel like they tried to put too much in, and a lot of it was just kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's what they're kind of risking with this 5-part movie of Fantastic Beasts: Where to Find Them is the fact that way too much put into it.
Well, the difference here is, this is absolute. Rawlings is literally writing the stuff as she goes along. This isn't. There's no source material. The source material for this is literally a textbook that students at schools like Hogwarts have went off and studied for years. That's the source material for this. It was a little more than a textbook, and now they're gonna. I think I'm not sure the name Fantastic Beasts is really going to be a good title for this entire series. It's. I could see maybe it's something along the lines of the Fantastic Beasts saga, and then having different names.
And each movie having a different name. I think generally that's probably the direction they're going to go, because you can't run the entire 5-part series with the same name. It just doesn't make sense.
I don't know, because I'd be kind of curious. I'm guessing that we're going to see Eddie Redmayne as one of the central characters in the entire series. And honestly, I thought he was very charming and had a very sweet performance in this movie. But for me, I don't know. I almost feel like we need almost a stronger central character. No offense to him. I thought it was great, and he's portrayed as kind of being this sort of bumbling wizard character. But he has a couple moments at the end of it where he's assisted by his magical beast friends, where you get to realize that there's a lot more to him than this bumbling sweet personality that he seems to have.
Yeah, it's like a mystery inside a mystery, which is a unique way to tell a story. But I unfortunately haven't seen it. I haven't even seen Doctor Strange yet. Which really
Dude, you are really far behind.
I am, but when you work odd schedules like myself, it's really hard to see movies, and
this is true.
I just don't have the time to get out and see them.
So, you had actually asked me during the break to quickly bring up some information on Black Panther's cast.
Yeah, they actually just released the names of the Black Panther cast, which I am actually very impressed with. Forrest Whitaker is part of this.
Yeah.
Which is a really, really big name. But what stands out to me isn't so much the names. Like, the names definitely do.
Oh, God.
But it's the fact they are actually all, African-American descent, which is...
Well, yeah. It should be, considering that this place takes place in the mythical...
But not only are they of that descent, they are really big names in Hollywood. So it's showing, everybody that, okay, there's so many different, names to Hollywood that you don't see as much anymore that are wicked actors or actresses.
I'm only going to go off and, bring up the names I can actually pronounce, because I don't want to go off and be too disrespectful. But, there's Martin Freeman, who's probably best known for the Hobbit movies and for... the Sherlock series on the BBC. Forrest Whitaker, as you brought up, Angela Bassett, Chadwick Boseman, Michael B. Jordan, Andy Serkis will be returning as Ulysses Klaue. Stan Lee, of course, is going to make his cameo, and Winston Duke is going to be in this movie as Manape, and
the one name that actually stands out to me is Danai Gurira, which is best known as Michonne from The Walking Dead. So,
okay, there we go. That explains why her name was kind of billed down on top there.
Yeah, and that's the name I really wanted to say, was because you have big names like Forrest Whitaker, Freeman, things like that. to have her attached to this is an absolutely